Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Trentic channel. I know it's been a while since I've done a official channel update like this, but I kind of wanted to give you guys an update on where this channel is currently at and what my future plans are for it, because somehow Trentic is back. I'm gonna be completely honest here. If you told me like 3 months ago that I would be back making content on Trentic, I probably wouldn't have believed you. To be honest, I had another channel. It was called Tritus, and I was, one, reaching a bunch of viewers, and two, making a bunch of money. I honestly thought that Tritus was going to be my end channel that I would just take into the stratosphere, but unfortunately, with a recent update to the Shorts algorithm, it killed the channel. I'm extremely grateful to everybody who supported me on both Tritus and Trentic, and I am extremely excited to be back here. Luckily for me, I was somehow able to retain all of you. I don't even know how I was able to, but when I started making echovr videos again, you guys just poured in droves. I think that definitely has to contribute to a lot of factors, like one, Ready at Dawn shutting down, two, obviously nobody else is making much echo content anymore, and three, there's a huge demand for it. But that demand is also a part of what I wanted to talk about with you all today. I feel like this channel is a bit trapped. I want to move on to greater things, really, and now that it's been an official year since echovr is gone, I don't really know how much I can keep beating a dead horse. Like, there it is. I just said it out loud. Even with echovr being brought back by, the amazing people over at the echovr lounge, when it comes to a content basis, outside of updates, there's not really much else to talk about. However, anytime I do try to talk about other stuff, it always performs wildly lower in comparison to all of the echovr stuff. I mean, you can compare, let's just compare an A2 video with Echo in the title. 10,000 views. Pretty good, right? Well, echovr normally, that's 55,000 views. Like, holy crap. And when you see that, you're probably obviously wondering why the heck would that even be an issue? Just keep making echovr content anyway, and then, the money will start pouring in. Unfortunately, though, at some point, something has to change with this channel, because echovr content will not be able to last forever. At some point, people will lose interest, or there just won't be enough people to the point where I can make echovr content and have it actually sustain me. That was kind of the problem with this channel at a lot of points in time, besides one, which was the summer of 2023 when all of the Echo stuff was going down in Roblox VR. I've always been fighting an uphill battle to try and get this channel to a point where I could basically be making enough money to, pay rent if I was, going to college and living in an apartment. Because really, for me, that's my end goal with YouTube. I want to make a living doing this, and I would love if you all join me for that ride. And I have spent a lot of time studying a lot of different algorithms, listening to a lot of different advice, discarding old advice and making way in for new advice. Like, the latest Mr. Beast document that just got leaked that basically entailed his, master plan to how he dominates YouTube. I listened to that thing 3 times over. And I've been able to connect with a bunch of amazing people from a bunch of amazing different places. I don't think I could have ever imagined that my YouTube journey would take me to the places that it has. But even so, even without reaching 10K, even without being the biggest in my niche, I've somehow still been able to have such an amazing journey. I've been able to meet people, fans even, and actually take pictures of them at events. I've been able to meet the creator of Gorilla Tag himself, Lemming, and I've been able to be in contact with so many amazing creators who have taught me so much and allowed me to just kind of, info dump and, run things by them as well. I know the way that this video is sounding, it sounds like I'm going to retire, which, by the way, I will never retire from YouTube. I love doing this way too much and have it as a passion way too much to kind of just throw it all away. In fact, I have centered a big part of my life around my YouTube channel and the skills that I've gotten from it. Like, y'all, after this year, I'm literally going to be going to college for digital marketing, which, saying that out loud, it kind of feels surreal. Like, this channel first started when I was 13 years old, and I wanted to just make Roblox or whatever I thought was going to get me viral and eventually allow me to find like-minded people to have my own community like the YouTubers that I watched. And now I'm extremely close to turning 18, and I'm still fighting this battle. Not the battle per se of, oh, I need to, go viral and get this and get that, get this. It's really just the battle of turning this into at least a semi-sustainable job. I feel like when it comes to YouTube, like philosophy around content, there's a lot of people who say, you know, it's just, you got to put in as much effort as you can to every single video and you get that output into return. However, I feel like it's such also a broad thing. Like, you can put so much effort into something that your audience is completely uninterested about, and then that video will flop because it didn't perform well with your subscribers. And I'd been sticking with that problem for a while until recently YouTube actually released this. So this is a button that when pressed on YouTube will basically bypass the whole subscriber performance issue. For those of you who don't know, whenever you post a video on YouTube, the way that the algorithm determines how far to push your video is by, one, testing it with your subscribers. If it performs with your subscribers, it'll push it to a bunch of new viewers. Once that viewer pool has been tested with, it'll push you to the greater, broader community of your niche. Like in this case, the VR niche. And what this button does right here, this publish to subscription feeds and notify subscribers. If you uncheck that when publishing a new YouTube video, it will basically just skip the subscriber test altogether, treat you like a new channel, and just go straight over to pushing it out to new viewers and measuring metrics based on that. And on my other channel, I studied this a lot before I kind of just left it to lie dormant, similar to how Trentic was, until, of course, I either felt the need to come back to it, the passion got reignited, or, you know, something happened that would, you know, kind of give me the opportunity to return. Because don't get me wrong, on either of the channels, I love what I do. One channel, I'm playing whatever games I want and just having fun. This channel, I'm talking about whatever I want and also having fun. But anyway, back to this. This button, when unchecked, will basically allow me to reach a new viewer base. However, I feel that if I were to try and use this too much, I would end up fracturing my audience. Now, the reason why is actually in the name, notify subscribers. I know a lot of you guys have probably been seeing the latest videos where I'm talking about, hey, turn on notifications. Hey, turn on notifications. Be notified for when my latest uploads are. This is because, well, you know, obviously I want short-term performance because that will end up equaling long-term growth if it performs well with my subscribers. However, if I end up getting subscribers from a bunch of different niches or sub-niches in this case, which is, you know, maybe something about games, like a bunch of subscribers from VR News, a bunch from Echo, a bunch from, I don't know, Gorilla Tag. I feel like my audience is going to be fractured because they don't have anything to rally around. Because really at its core, there isn't much of a personality to this channel. Now, obviously, you might be hearing that and call BS, or maybe you don't, maybe you completely agree with me. But the way that I measure this is just how much this can be replicated. What Trentic is in terms of its content style is just gameplay and commentary, which is by design. It's meant to be the basically first of its kind regular gameplay commentary that isn't too crazy on the editing like a lot of other VR YouTubers who will basically make fully featured video essays talking about VR news and other stuff like that. And the reason why I went down this path was because, one, the style was extremely easy, but two, it also allowed me to run a bunch of tests, learn a bunch about the algorithm, and it didn't have to go crazy on the editing and burnout. Now, eventually I did get to a point where I was kind of, you know, following what the traditional VR commentary channel is like, where there was a lot of retention-based editing, stuff to, you know, flashing your face, crazy subtitles, stuff like that, just to make sure that you guys are basically what Mr. Beast called lulled into just watching a video when you don't even realize it. And as a result of all that, I could get insane watch times and stuff like that, but eventually it got to a point where I was putting massive efforts into the content, but the topics were just not appealing enough to the audience, which I guess in this case I'd refer to as you guys, but that's such like a broad term that I don't really think I would want to reference that, because that doesn't mean you as an individual person. It could mean 10, hundreds, or even thousands of people. But what does this all mean? Well, basically, this channel is currently at a crossroads. Really what I want to do and what I want this channel to become in terms of a long-term plan is to go from echovr over to A2. I mean, if you've seen my past, 3-4 videos, you'd obviously know that, yeah, I want to go with A2. but I can only really talk about a game that can barely be talked about for so much. There's not really much that I can talk about without, getting in legal trouble with another Axiom. At the end of the day, your boy did sign an NDA, and, my lawyers have advised me to continue following it. It's a massive opportunity to basically pick up on a game like this that has the funding and love that it really does, but I don't think it's going to be releasing anytime soon. Maybe it will, who knows, maybe I'll just get absolutely blown out of the water and this video will age absolutely horribly, in which case, definitely won't mind and we'll just go straight into plan become a 2 creator. But really, this channel is kind of in a limbo state right now, where I'm kind of just bouncing between making A2 content, Echo content, and testing if maybe VR news will work with you all as well. Because really, this channel is without a game. And maybe you might wonder from the beginning, why don't you just continue making Echo VR content? Once again, Echo VR, you can't make much on it. Sure, you can go into the community servers and do all that, and that's great for the people who are actually extremely passionate about Echo and want to continue playing it. I have zero problem with that. Only real problem is, what am I gonna make? Because my Echo VR style revolved around talking about stuff, bringing up discussion points, and obviously wanting to get news about it out as much as possible. And we'll still obviously do that when the opportunities present themselves, but the announcements are going to have to be pretty major for that to happen. Same thing with A2. I'll also be covering news on that, but that still is very much a ways away from each other. What am I going to do in between here? Because if I just go back to, not posting, then this channel is once again just going to, be dead in the water. I was very lucky that one of my previous shorts actually went viral. It was about Roblox, giving up on the MetaQuest 2. And that just sent my channel back into some form of relevancy. Maybe it just sent a green flag into YouTube's algorithm and my channel in their videos just started getting pushed to people again. It was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh. But right now, I kind of just don't know what I want to do per se. Maybe we can do VR Let's Plays again and bring those back, or maybe there's something else that you guys want me to talk about, or hey, maybe I could give even some more shots on VR news now that I've actually explicitly stated this. But really, at this point, you're probably not watching the video. But yeah, anyway, what's the overall arching story about this? Well, I guess it would kind of just be a quick update about me. Not about Echo, not about A2, but just a Trentic is back update. I want to do A2 content when it actually comes out, but there's still such a massive buffer line between it that I really don't exactly know what I'm gonna do until that A2 actually comes. So if you guys have any suggestions about something that I should try, please leave them in the comments section below, because I'm really just not really knowing what I want to do. This isn't even scratching the surface of thumbnails. Like, is it a thumbnail problem? Is it a title problem? Is it a topic problem? So many different things. But yeah, with that said, my name is Trentic. This has been a very quick update and it's good to be back. And I'll see you all soon.